Hello, family and friends. It is late January here in lovely Tennessee. I think the last video was 2 weeks ago, and so I thought I would provide you an update as to what's been going on here over the last 2 weeks with respect to construction. I'd start off by talking a bit about the weather. It has been a rough couple weeks. We actually had very low temperatures here, sustained temperatures for a couple days in the area. And in fact, we had a low temperature up here on the hill here of -3 one morning this week. And as you probably know, we live here in a camper while our house is being built. And despite all the insulation and the ceramic heater underneath the camper, we had gotten down to about 29 degrees underneath the camper. Not a lot of exposed water lines, but nonetheless, you never want them to freeze. It'll cause problems long term. So I think that the forecast suggests that while we might have rain, we believe the temperatures will come back to a more normal range for this place, this time of year, so on and so forth. So we're kind of excited about that. Today it's about 42 degrees. It's absolutely beautiful. Very little wind, and being a Saturday, there's no workers out here, so it's actually quite peaceful as well. So what we'll do now is I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the house and where we're at. Turn the camera. Okay, so this is the current state of the house. This is the very front of the house. So the front and back porch have been timber framed. There's some things there yet to be fixed, but nonetheless timber frame. We've got zip board and zip tape for sheathing. All the windows are installed, and in fact, the shingles have been installed, which just happened in the last couple days. Only the very front over the front porch, where there'll be metal seamless roofing. And the rest of it is asphalt. So it is exciting to have that done. And much, if not most, of the soffit and fascia has been completed. It looks really nice. The shingles are a CertainTeed product called Landmark Pro, and I believe we went with a max definition colonial slate. So it has some gray, some black, and some interesting colors in it. The soffits are the soffit and fascia are from, Diamond Coat, and that is a pelican gray. So it's gray right up to the shingles, and then we'll have quite a bit of a Diamond Coat in white surrounding the house, and in the front, the very front, and to the left, you'll see they actually started some of the rock. We're using a Versetta stone, and it's really, really nice. So we'll walk in as kind of give you a sense of what's going on the inside. We can look in the back there. In fact, we'll come up closer to the Versetta stone and give you a look as to what's going on there. It's really muddy out here, so hopefully I don't fall. But there's still quite a bit of work to do there, but it kind of gives you a sense of the stonework that they're putting in. It's going to be pretty nice. It really adds something. We have yet to figure out the stain for the timbers, and up here is going to be tongue and groove. We have the tongue and groove. We would like to stain it before it's put up. We'll have tongue and groove for the ceiling here. Chandelier hanging down, and then some lights on both sides. As we go into the house, if you've been looking, if you've been watching the videos, this all should look pretty familiar. We're coming in a foyer here with the bedrooms. We just finished sweeping up much of this in the last couple of hours. The electricians have been in. They're almost finished with rough electric. Plumbing, a lot of plumbing's been done. I have a little bit more for the rough plumbing inspection and the rough electrical. And the framing is more or less complete. So believe it or not, we could probably within 2 weeks have both of our inspections. One is done by the state, and that's electrical, and then the county handles the plumbing and framing. As we walk through here, again, much of this is going to look similar. I've yet to frame out the 2 pocket doors, converging pocket doors for that room. In our pantry, I have to yet install the pocket door kit. Over here is our dining room in the kitchen. And then you can see the garage. And we did actually, since our last update, we were able to get the templates in for lighting. So we will have, I believe, we'll have 12 lights in here. Those will be recessed lights. This is a super slope ceiling at 12 by 12, so it required a unique down light can. The same goes for the master, which will also, both of these vaulted ceilings will be tongue and groove. And here I think we have, let's see, just 8 lights in here, but plenty of lighting. Have a pretty cool view. It's a beautiful day, so the protective covering's still on the windows. I'd love to take it off, but we're a couple months off from that as yet. Otherwise, quite a bit has been complete here. It's truly happened very quickly. Folks showed up, teams showed up, didn't even know they're coming, but here they were, and they were going to town on their respective trades and getting it done. As I mentioned, we do have the doors to be installed, the exterior doors. They're ready to go, with the exception of the garage doors, which I can order them anytime, but they won't install it until I have the drywall up, the painting's been complete, so on and so forth. We've got still a lot of material with which to put up. In fact, you'll see the pallets full of the Versetta stone. Over here is 2 by 8 Douglas fir, and in fact, over every window and opening, we will frame that at the top of it with this Douglas fir. That will really, it really adds a nice detail. It truly is a lovely setup. Coming around, eventually this will be a bit of a sidewalk here, walkway, so folks can come directly to the back. If we're in the back enjoying the wilderness here on the porch. As we come around, it opens up to our the back porch, and that's the dining room. The outswing doors and the windows to the family room and one of the bedrooms. Over there is an extra closet, I believe, storage with outside entrance. The electrician team did go ahead and get us set up for lights and fans back here. We'll have 2 ceiling fans. We're gonna have a television back here as well. Gotta have a television. Hopefully if I ever get a dog, me and the dog can hang out here, because I can't have the dog inside. So I guess I'll be living outside. Yeah, there's the beast still working. But so next week they will finish up electrical. They will finish up, in fact, I'll bring it to you here. They'll finish up electrical, rough plumbing. In all likelihood, we'll have the Versetta stone put on and the doors installed, along with all of the trim. Again, within about 2 weeks or less, we should have the inspections. That's a huge milestone. From there, I already have a team for insulation, so we've got someone under contract for that. We're going to do open cell spray foam on the roof deck and all the exterior walls. We will have some batten between the garage and the attic area above. But again, the entire roof deck will have spray foam, so it'll be insulated. All the walls, including the garage walls, will have spray foam as well. And then the walls between the garage and the home will also have spray foam. So there's quite a bit going on there. And I'm hoping, as one of my neighbors said, that I'm hoping it's so well insulated you could heat the house with a candle. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it's true. We do have a contractor coming in for all things HVAC, and we are doing, as most folks do here, we are doing the heat pump for air conditioning and heating, but we're also doing an inline furnace running off of LP, which will allow us to sort of augment the heating. And, it gets so cold here on occasion that a heat pump would have to work extremely hard to extract heat from essentially 0 degree outdoor temperatures to do much inside. And I spoke to one of my neighbors. He said his electric bill was extremely high, and I think he has a heat pump, but not the inline furnace. So I suspect that is from trying to manage temperature. But the HVAC, there's some preliminary work that needs to be done prior to the spray foam. Once spray foam is complete and we have a spray foam inspection, believe it or not, there's one of those installation inspections, we will go ahead and we have the drywallers coming in. So we have another team contracted to do the drywall as well as the mudding and taping on the interior, which is super cool. I think at that point, it'll feel like we're on the road to completion at least. Of course, all the trim inside at this point, Sue and I are planning on doing all the flooring, all the tile, wood floors, the bathrooms in their entirety, as well as the paint and interior trim. We are, I think, almost finalized on the cabinets. I think we spent more time on cabinets than any other item. It has been amazing to hear how expensive cabinets can be. It is really ridiculous. So we are down to 2 places that we think we can get really good quality cabinets for the most reasonable price. It's just what it is. I'll tell you what, if you want to make a lot of money, get into cabinets, get into flooring, into windows, because I'll tell you, I think there is massive margins in that business, in all those businesses. So the cabinets, we may install them as well, as I'm finding out it takes time and needs to be precise, but it's not necessarily rocket science. So that's one thing that I wouldn't mind doing. It'd be kind of interesting, but we'll see. We'll see if the price is reasonable for installation. Let's go ahead and leverage others. So that's a quick update on this. In terms of the property outside of the house and the camper, I am looking forward to spring. Spring would be cool, or warm, however you want to describe it. We do have some neighbors that are starting to work on their properties. The neighbors to our north, there's one lot that the excavators that worked with me on the house pad here, we referred them, and they're actually handling building a road for them, which is great. And then the other neighbors on the other side of that also contracted with this excavator, and both of them have roads going in down to the bottom. They're both building at the top like we did. And they've used my road to some extent because that was the only access up here. I was happy to do so, and in exchange I was able to get some assistance with rock and some light excavation on the road, further improving it. So I would say that in terms of our driveway, there's probably not much more settling to be done, as there has been hundreds, if not 1,000 metric tons of material moved up and down that driveway. So I can't imagine that it's not compacted, but yeah, it's pretty out here. And I would throw out to you that this time of year, of course, you can see through the forest pretty far. So you can actually see an excavator over there, and then further down, you might even be able to see from here an open field that is very far away, probably about a quarter mile. But come say June, you won't be able to see too much. This is a incredibly green area, and we are planning to do some work out here. I don't know if it'll happen this coming spring and summer, because we have to finish the house, and we'll probably be doing some work around that with respect to landscaping. But we've got some plans for how to deal with this driveway and make it as nice as it should be. Probably pressing for next year will be, how do we want to proceed with the driveways, particularly the area that has the big grade. I think it's 14 to 16 degree grade, about 400 feet of it. So the locals who we've spoken to, because everyone seems to be coming together here, and especially those who are helping us out, they have suggested that we do something called chip and tar. And chip and tar is a road surface. It's probably half, if not 1/3, the cost of doing asphalt. It is probably much more forgiving than asphalt. and it's much more abrasive. So it's better with respect to getting up the driveway. And then the next question comes down to, in the winter time, as we've had we probably had about 3-4 days where we could not use our driveway due to snow and ice, and it still may happen yet this year. Do we want to, before doing so, do we want to actually install some sort of underground heating for just that 400-foot span? It'd probably be hooked up to a boiler that would have to be kind of up here and manually managed, whatever the case is. Probably burn wood. I got plenty of it. So, but that might be a way to do it. Otherwise, there's salt, which they don't have a lot of in this area, but salt can help to manage the ice and snow and what have you. But across this area, there's a wildlife management area. You can see it in the far distance. So we are actually surrounded. This whole community here is surrounded by this wildlife management area. So there's a limit. In fact, the field you see in front of you on the other side of the road, it backs up to the wildlife management area. So there can be no construction on the other side of that. And that is thousands upon thousands of acres that are all part of that wildlife management area. So it's kind of cool that you can't. No one's going to build on the other side of them at this point. I'm sure that was a big selling point for this area. In fact, outside of hunting season, you can actually ride your side-by-sides and dirt bikes and what have you on the trails in that wildlife management area. So we have not done a lot of that because we're too busy and got too many things to think about. So, but hope someday to get out and enjoy more of the wilderness, and certainly go out and see some of the sites. This area of Appalachia's got a lot to offer, and we just haven't been able to jump into it. Certainly not as much as even a tourist would. So, with that being said, probably give you an update in a couple weeks. I think there'll be more to show at that point. If you have questions, you can always put one in the comments, or given that I think I know everyone who is watching this video, you can always send me a text or what have you. But anyhow, we will talk to you soon. Thanks.